Alright, good afternoon guys, how you doing? Today we're going to learn how to use macros in Excel. So essentially what a macro is basically automation. So say if I have a lot of data as I do right now, and there's certain things I want to do to the data where I may want to underline all this, and I may want to highlight everything, that type of thing. And say I have to do this repeatedly over and over again every day for different sets of data, what I would do is end up getting I would end up making a macro so that I don't have to do these commands over and over again, and I can just save a good amount of time on what I'm doing. So we're going to go over how to make one of these commands. Okay. All right. So what you want to do is you want to go to the developer tab in Excel, and if you don't have that tab available, just go to the start button, Excel options, and then show developer tab on ribbon and press OK. Now we go to the developer tab, and then we go to record macro. So for this we're just going to name it macro 1, and control, the shortcut key, we're going to do control A. Don't worry about the description, we don't really need one, and we're going to save it specifically for this workbook. But note that we can save it for personal macro workbooks, meaning for any workbook that's on this computer or for a new workbook that we might do later in the future. So this workbook, and press OK. Notice that it's now recording our macro. Alright, so we're going to go down. Say I want to underline all this, and then I want to put it in green, and I want to do some conditional formatting for this as well, where we're going to do some color scales. Alright, didn't quite show, that's alright. And let's say I want to highlight this first column, and who cares, maybe the third column as well. And then for this column we'll do some more conditional formatting, and we'll do anything greater than there. Cool. Alright, then we go back over to the developer tab, and we do stop recording. Alright, now just to make sure our macro is working, let's go over to a different tab we have in Excel, and let's select all the data that we have, and then use our shortcut key control A. Alright, see what it just did? It just formatted the data similar to how we have it over here. The only constraint that's not working is our conditional formatting that we use with the field goal averages with the basketball players, because it's a separate column and we don't have any number that's over that 24,000 number, that 2,000 number that we had in the previous columns. Alright, but let's try one more. Okay, so here we have some Dow Jones averages. Alright, so let's create another macro for this. Record macro. This one we're going to use control S for this workbook. Alright, let's take these. All right. I think we got all the constraints that we want to use for this one. Um, Except let's make this bigger, I guess. Okay. And now we're going to stop recording. All right. Now let's go over to somewhere like here. Again, the data is different. It's different, but that's not going to affect the fact that we still have this macro in place so that Excel will know what to do if it's confronted with similar data. See what it just did? It just highlighted the first 10 data points like we had here and here, and it also made this middle line red like it did in the other ones. So it essentially did the best it could with the constraints that I gave it because the data isn't similar. But rest assured, if we were working with the same numbers and same dates or similar numbers and dates, it would have been just the same. As you can see, it did a little bit of, it had a little bit of an issue formatting the names right here, but basically it got the constraints correct. And if we were to do it on, say this right here, let's see how it will work. See, it still did it to the cell blocks even though the information is kind of jacked up. So it's just something to keep in mind that Excel knows to do that with the specific blocks that you highlight. And as long as your data is matching up, you'll essentially be fine. So yeah, those are two examples of macros. You can set any type of constraints that you want on it. It's simply a series of automations that allow you to, shorten your workflow and do things more efficiently. It's automation, all at the end of the day, just recording different steps and being able to take care of problems without having to expend a lot of energy. So yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know via YouTube. Thank you.